Whoever watches the video will be able to hear me, but no one else will get this part. Because no one else is making it this quick. Stream health yellow. That's always a fun thing. Good stuff. Am I public? I am public. All right, just making sure. Hey! Now everyone's showing up. What is this? What did I just turn off? I turned my camera off. My bad. Oh, there I am. Hey, what's up, everybody? We doing this again. We really out here doing this again. Yes. Hear me out. I didn't get to do a solo commentary on this movie. I did a solo commentary for all the other MonsterVerse films, so it would make sense that I would do a solo commentary for this one. So, we're doing it again. I didn't, because, alright, if you watched last week's, it was a lot of fun, but it was exactly how I thought it would be. I didn't say much. I just let them talk, you know? It was like their show, basically. So, I figure this one will be mine. So everyone get your Godzilla King of the Monsters popped in, and yeah, it's a watch along just for us. Everyone get King of the Monsters ready, and we'll pop it on in 10 minutes. You're the best for letting us watch with you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hello, Omnidoll. Is this going to be uploaded? Yes, it will, Raxi. I guess I'll let this play while I animate. Well, good. That's all right. That's cool. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah, so, okay, I'll say it one more time, or like a whole bunch more times. I'm going to start King of the Monsters just like last week. It's going to be the same deal, except that this time it's going to be a solo commentary. So everyone scramble to get your DVD players ready. You got 9 minutes, and then we're starting the movie. We are starting the movie at 5 o'clock, just like the other MonsterVerse watch-alongs. Sadly, I cannot watch, so bye. Well, thank you very much, Gavin. Feeling kind of weird today. I don't know. It's kind of a weird day. My arms feel real weak. I feel very tight in my chest. And I'm very low on energy. It's not a great day, is it? Never a great day when that happens. Rodan is your boy. He's pretty cool, isn't he? School's going all right. Oh, there you go. There's that crisp sound. Talk about me in a video right now. Okay, John. Do you maybe have mono? Well, I've already had mono. I hope I don't get it again. But it's a soda kind of day. I don't like to drink soda. 8 minutes before the movie starts, people. I don't like to drink soda, but it's a soda kind of day. Can you make a Godzilla roar? I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying. Wait, I thought we did the watch along. We did do the watch along, but it's last week was basically I was letting the Ghidorah guys have their time. You know, it was just like a fun get together for us. But I wanted to do a solo commentary on the movie because I did a solo commentary for the other MonsterVerse films, and I wanted to do a solo commentary for this one because I didn't get the chance to. So yeah, everyone get your King of the Monsters popped in, and we'll start it here at 5 o'clock, and that'll be awesome. Or 6, 7, 8 on the hour. We're gonna start it on the hour. Depends on where you are, your time zone. Glad you're doing this. Like you said, last week was more of the Ghidorah crew getting to talk to each other with you just being there. Yeah, I was kind of fourth wheeling a little hard, wasn't I? Are you going to do more pitch stories for other MonsterVerse films after Godzilla vs. Kong? Yeah, I totally will. I had a lot of fun making that series, so absolutely. I really enjoyed my pitch series. We can just pretend that Mike is live tweeting. I could pull up Mike's tweets. I didn't read them yet. I have been so stressed out with schoolwork that I have not checked out his tweets. So I suppose I could pull them up and see what he tweeted during the movie, because I didn't read the tweets last week. It was just too much for me to try and keep up with. So I suppose I could, and it will be like I'm experiencing this for the first time. Crazy. Shout out to Michael Doherty, who now has an Instagram. He didn't used to, but he has an Instagram now. So if you want to go follow Mr. Michael Doherty on Instagram, his name is InstaMike. I think it might be InstaMike Doherty. All right. Let's see what we've got. It's going to be difficult to try and find where these tweets starts and where they end, but I'll try. I feel like he's probably the most savvy with Twitter and with all this stuff, so I feel like he will have shared the most information out of any of the MonsterVerse stuff. And there's so many tweets. Oh my god, I'm going to have to pour through all these. No way am I going to keep up with all these tweets. 5 minutes till the movie's starting, and then we're going to pop in your movie right now so you can press play in 5 minutes. No way am I keeping up with all these tweets. I'm not probably going to read those. I'll read them afterward. I am going to put together a retrospective on the MonsterVerse Watchalong series. So part 1 will be coming out shortly, and that will be on the things that Gareth Edwards shared with us. And then there will be one Jordan Vogt Roberts, and then there will be one for what we learned during the King of the Monsters. I too thought Jordan Vogt Roberts would post a little more during the Watchalong, but he did not post a whole lot. All right. Your Xbox is updating? Oh no. I'd love to watch with you again, but I'm going to spend time with my family. See ya. All right, that's understandable. See you, Godzilla 2006. Hope you have a nice time. Ready to relax after all your schoolwork. I am very, very ready. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. I'll be starting the movie on the hour. So wherever your time zone is, it will be on the hour. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, probably like 2 o'clock for some people. Yes, Unknown Goji, we are doing another one. We already did this, yes. What's your favorite Titan in the MonsterVerse? My favorite Titan in the MonsterVerse is the Mutos. You mean New Titan. What's my favorite new Titan in the MonsterVerse? The Muto. The male Muto is my favorite new Titan in the MonsterVerse, if we're going to call him new. SMH, who spends time with family. I've been home alone the whole week, and I've been fine. I feel that. The problem with drinking caffeinated stuff is it makes me... I got to burp, and I want to burp. Don't want to be that guy. Three minutes, and I will be starting the movie. Get your film ready. Your favorite Titan is Mokele Membe. We haven't even seen him on screen. We're going to get half the views that we normally get during these watch-alongs in this one, I see. I too read the novelization, yeah. I know what you're referring to with Mokele Membe. Will you do a watch-along of Godzilla vs. Kong when it comes out? Absolutely. I will absolutely be doing that. I'm literally in my bed watching this. I appreciate that. 2 minutes. Quickly scrolling through my film to make sure it's all loaded. Yeah, that's a smart strat. I should have done the same, but at this point, too late. Do you think there will be an Avengers vs. Godzilla? No. What's your favorite pro hero from My Hero Academia? Godzilla. Wasn't he in that show? I don't know if he's a pro hero. I don't even know what that means. An older Toho Godzilla film would be an awesome watch along. I do plan on doing many more watch alongs in the future, and I will definitely be doing one for King Kong vs. Godzilla. I'm considering doing 2 for King Kong vs. Godzilla, one for the English cut and one for the Japanese, but I will definitely be doing one. I know Godzilla fought the Avengers in a comic. I do know that. Yes, 1 minute. His name was Godzilla in My Hero Academia. Well, there you go. Is Godzilla vs. Kong getting delayed? I don't think so. Will you do a watch along for Godzilla 2014? I have already done my watch along for Godzilla 2014. Let's get this image on screen, shall we? Let's get the Atomic Breath GIF. Get the movie full screen. Get ready to slap that play button, because we are about to do this in 15 seconds. Make sure we're at 00000. All right, y'all. Y'all ready? You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And we're off. This was such a sneaky way to do it that it went over my head the first X amount of times I saw this movie. I was too wrapped up in the cool glitch effect going on here, the the cool, I don't know, it's a cool logo, right? It's a cool opening sequence. I'm glad they didn't just go with normal logos. We got like the new Titans on here, like Behemoth, and it didn't even cross my mind that what I was experiencing was the original opening to Godzilla with the footsteps and the roar. That Toho Showa roar straight up brought tears to my eyes when I saw this movie the first time. It brought, I don't know, I'm a little baby. Hit me right in the feels. See, if I wish I was I wish I was seeing this last week with everybody, because not everyone's going to appreciate the Andrews like they once would have. Yeah, it's a hashtag Rip Little Russell moment right here. Showing Godzilla right away. I do like setting it in the 2014. I like the 2014 flashback. As I have stated in other videos, this is a sequence that I think should have been pushed back later in the movie. I don't think this should have been the opening to the film. I think this should have been the opening to the film with Emma Russell here. I don't think we should have started out with the flashback. Or at the very least, I don't think we should have seen Godzilla in the flashback until later in the movie. I do like that we hear the word 2014 attacks, plural. Of course, giving us a little bit more of an insight into the novel, or not the novelization, the comic books. You know, it's a little bit more implication that the comic books still happened in this universe, even though we never see it. And of course, there was the destroy all monsters signs everywhere. I'm doing a fan art for someone. Goodbye. All right, see ya. Hey, D-Man, who is your celebrity crush? I think the answer to that one should be pretty obvious if you watch my videos. I like this song, Wave of Mutilation by the Pixies. It was a good choice. Wish we got a little bit more stuff like this in the movie. Music like this. That's something that Kong Skull Island did that was awesome. Hopefully Godzilla vs. Kong will have a kick-ass soundtrack. Dad, didn't you already do this with the mocap actors? Yes, sir. That sound effect gets me every goddamn time, really. Every single time that stupid smoke alarm will get me. Is it Millie? That's what I'm thinking. No, it is not Millie. But it rhymes. You're close. Honestly, didn't notice the Destroy All Monsters signs when I watched the film for the first time. It took me a long time to notice that. I like this little interaction between the two of them here at the start. I think this is a good character moment that gets overshadowed quite a bit. I think this is a really good character moment for the two of these characters. a lot of subtext going on here that I really enjoy. What's your favorite kaiju, not counting the ones from Godzilla? So, excluding the Godzilla franchise, Gamera. I'm assuming you also exclude Kong in that case. So Gamera. The characters are underrated. I agree. I agree. I think King of the Monsters is a movie that gets unfairly trashed on. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here that people overlook simply because of monsters. Yeah. Do you like Pacific Rim? I love Pacific Rim. It's an awesome movie. I am at 4, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 for the person asking where I'm at in the movie. All right. Yeah. So kind of just line it up minute to minute, right? You got to wait for the minutes. We are at 450, 451, 52. So you can catch up. That Mothra roar is also awesome. I love that they use the Showa roar. Great stuff. And this is a good reveal, too, that they are, hey, what's up, Big Jack's Films? It's a great reveal here that they are in China. I think this is a really cool moment. Outpost 61, of course, 61 being a reference to Mothra's release date in 1961. What is this actor's name? I always forget his name. Sam something, right? Sam something? This poor dude, Sam Havens? Something like that, isn't it his name? Randy Havens. Why am I saying Sam? His name is Randy Havens. I love that. The good old Temple of the Moth, that image we've been seeing since 2017. It was really kind of surreal to see that image so many times, to edit with that image so many times, and then to see it in the movie and be like, wow, it's actually here? Yeah, poor old Randy Havens gets trashed in this movie. I was surprised when I saw this film for the first time at how fast Mothra hatches. I was kind of spoiled. People had told me that this was going to be the first scene of the movie in the comments. So that, that was something that I expected. But she hatches straight away. The hell is she hatching from? Question mark. Because she comes out as a larva. The Monsterverse lore will tell us that it's a chrysalis. But my comment section will tell me that that is an egg. That does not look like an egg to me. Whoever's idea it was to have the bioluminescence with Mothra, I'm assuming Michael Dougherty, whoever made that decision basically single-handedly made this my favorite incarnation of Mothra. I love the bioluminescence so much. What time are you guys? I'm at 6:54, 55, 56, 57. Mothra is breaking out of her containment. I don't like that glitch effect on the computer screen. I think that looked real fake. But I like that you can see the statues of the Shobijin in the background. That's really cool. I think this is interesting here because Mothra is clearly hurt by this little taser gun, the little mazer handheld, because it agitates her to the point where she's attacking these dudes and sticking them to walls and whatnot. And it feeds this guy to a spider. So she's clearly not having a great time with that. So I feel like Mothra would have been killed. I feel like the containment system would have killed Mothra, which tells me that Monarch can, at least in some cases, kill the Titans. I feel like that not all of their containment systems would fail. And Mothra, I think, is an example of a Titan that they could have probably killed. She just woke up after a long nap. She ain't going to tolerate this. Yeah, she feeds him to a spider. So if you freeze frame on the scene when that dude hits the web, there's a big old spider in it. It's not Kumonga, though. Personally, I like the orange Mothra better than the blue. I actually like the blue Mothra better. It's been something that I've been saying since about 2017 when we were very first discussing the topic of Mothra in the Monsterverse based on that Temple of the Moth image. And I had proposed that maybe we were going to see something like Rainbow Mothra in this film. Now, I thought it was going to be a much more traditional Mothra design with just simply blue wings. but instead we got something a lot cooler. He didn't give much of an effort right there, did he? Mothra easily could have been killed. She's a small, flesh, soft body insect. She doesn't have an exoskeleton like the adult has if her anatomy is like real-world caterpillars. Well, there you go. I stumbled through reading that one like a child, but the message came across altogether. I have an idea after the offense of the original Godzilla I have an idea that the original events of Godzilla did happen in the Monsterverse, and Godzilla was awakened by the bomb in World War II. He attacked Japan in 1954, the Lucky Dragon. And the Lucky Dragon bomb tries to kill him. Well, the bomb's not the Lucky Dragon bomb, it's the Castle Bravo bomb, but I get what you're saying. Oh, I see why you're calling it the Lucky Dragon bomb. I get it, because that's the bomb that irradiated the crew and killed that dude. I was like, oh, that's not the bomb's name, but sure. I get it. I get what you're saying. Oh, Yuji Koseki's Mothra theme, dude. This was another moment that when I saw this film in theaters, tears in the eyes. Like the first 3 times I saw this movie, that moment filled my eyes with tears. And God, it really is such an impactful moment. And then these dicks just break in and shoot everybody. Monarch really doesn't have the best guards, do they? How'd these dudes wipe through all these people? Bear McCreary was the best choice to score this movie. Bam! Charles Dance is great in this movie, as he is in every movie. I love that they have Godzilla's roar in that clip. That's awesome. How did no bullet hit that window? They're sharpshooters, dude. They're trained shots. I just missed Kong. You guys made me miss Kong. God darn it. I like that footage of Kong that they have on that screen. That footage makes sense for them to have. I always question, in this movie in particular, how did they get that footage? But the Mutos, Godzilla, you can go, all right, sure. In 2014, Gareth Edwards took the time to make sure that every shot was filmed from the perspective of a human. So, reasonably, we can say that someone took those shots. I like these two characters. I like this Stenz and Serizawa have this dynamic. But Kong, there should be no footage of Kong. I can understand how Bill Randa's footage would make it off Skull Island. I can understand how Houston Brooks could obtain that and keep it with him. But that should realistically be the only shot of Kong that they have. Outside of the... how did they get an x-ray of Kong? I don't think it's an x-ray of Kong. I think it's just, you can take a picture of my head and then you can sketch out what you think my skull is going to look like. That's a good line. And if you listen closely here when Serizawa says the word coexistence, the song, The Key to Coexistence, plays. Didn't Randa get eaten by the Skullcrawler as well? Yeah, Randa got eaten, but there's no one to say that he didn't hand off the footage to Brooks for whatever reason. That's a good... They always give Serizawa the good lines. Mason Weavers has film and the camera in the novelization. Well, there you go. I suppose some footage could have gotten off the island. I think that there should be new footage of Kong, given that Monarch has an outpost on the island. But, maybe they're not photographing him. He doesn't like his picture taken. This is a funny joke at first, but it's kind of a dumb gag. Like, that specific shot shouldn't have been blurred out. I just think it would have been funnier if they didn't blur that shot and left it when he was leaving the room. I would have thought that was funnier if they did it like that. I got schooled in the comments section. Good Lord, when I made my whole movie breakdown, I'm talking about no wild wolves in Colorado. Oh man, people going off on me in the comments, telling me I'm so wrong. The comment section would have me believe that there are wild wolves in Colorado, so maybe I got that fun fact wrong. I didn't think there were. This is a cool moment. I'm pretty sure Sally Hawkins was not originally in this shot, and they green screened her in there. You got the good old Mark Russell, Tony Stark cabin. I found that cabin for rent, and I really tried to get my friends to rent that cabin with me. It was not anywhere near as expensive as we thought it was going to be, and I really wanted to get like 7 of us up there to rent that cabin for a weekend, and they would not do it. Both Kong and Godzilla were exposed to the atomic bomb, making them bigger. This is only if Toho didn't make Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991. What are you talking about? What? Why is Sam, the head of technology, with them? Because the Orca is Monarch technology. This man should be able to track it, but he needs Mark's help. Do you like Orange Mothra? Yeah. I like how when you point out that the Orca was named after the ship from Jaws, people will correct you and say no. The Orca was named after the trying to keep Titans away from, or orcas away from the shoreline, right? They're trying to keep whales away from the shoreline. But Michael Dougherty said that it was named after the boat from Jaws, so. Mark and Rick should have died in King of the Monsters. I don't agree with that at all. Not a fan of that fade. For whatever reason, that crossfade has stuck out to me every single time I have watched this movie as being awkward. I don't like crossfades, and I think that one in particular just lasts so long. Someone said a possible appearance of Biollante in Godzilla vs. Kong. Is that true? Absolutely. That's definitely true. You got to shave, my guy. I know. I really do need to shave. See ya, Yoshi. What kind of device is Mark looking at? Like, what is this that they have pulled up? Just like a Monarch Files? How many do you think Mark knew about? How many Titans do you think he was aware of? Because, like, right here, he scrolls into, like, the Monarch maps. What exactly is going on? Like, what is that? And of all the unseen Titans in King of the Monsters, which one would you like to see the most? Oh man, that's real hard because there are so many that we don't know about. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many that we don't know about that we only see their names. That could be cool. The novelization gives us a few more, like Mokele Membe. It would have been cool to see some of that stuff on screen. The Kraken sequence in the novelization, I think, is really cool. Castle Bravo is really sweet. I like that the Hollow Earth point is in the Bermuda Triangle. Kind of gives us an explanation for the mishaps that happened there, I guess. Just Titan activity. This is such a cool base. I love the Muto head. This is an awesome set. Wish we got to see more of it. The trailer dropping today was all speculation, rumors, never confirmed. Yeah, there was never. In fact, Legendary confirmed the opposite. Legendary told us the trailer was not going to drop today. Yeah, rip Fimuto. So here's a moment that it was described to us one way, right? Where this was the shot that everyone got to see during the set visits. And so we heard about this sequence so many times. Alan Jonah, first of all, can I just say, since when did they switch his name to Alan Jonah from Jonah Allen? It was Jonah Allen all the way up until the movie came out, and then they call him Alan Jonah out of nowhere, when the entire time during the marketing for the movie he's called Jonah Allen. Why? They really goofed on me, because it is a habit that I still to this day cannot break. I always call him Jonah Allen. I love Rick Stanton. I know a lot of people don't like this dude, but I love this dude. But anyways, this was the sequence that everyone got to see during the set visits. And it was described as a long take. It was described as the full sequence played out while the camera revolved around the characters one way, they reset and revolved the camera around the characters the other way. So you could, I guess, do some cool cross-cutting between the camera spinning, but it bums me out because I would have liked to see that kind of long take approach to it rather than the cutting between everybody. I just think that would be, I think that'd be really cool to see it done like that. Maybe because people were calling him last name first. Yeah, that's probably what happened, but I don't know why. It really tricked us. Funny enough, I was invited down to be on the set of Godzilla vs. Kong in Australia. Why? What the hell? Why didn't you take that? And why am I just now hearing about that? You were invited to be on the set and you didn't go? I haven't watched your stuff in a while, but I like it. Thank you very much, Tyler. You didn't make it due to money constraints. That sucks. How'd you get invited to the set of Godzilla vs. Kong? What the hell? How do I do that? You can see the remnants of early cut with the camera. Yeah, because you can see the camera spinning. But it seems like they put together multiple takes. Maybe it just wasn't working, you know? Maybe it was just a little boring. But they gave you a t-shirt for Godzilla vs. Kong? You need to explain how this occurred. You have connections? Wow. You're about to watch this with the family? Awesome. It's a banger, dude. Is Serizawa the leader of Monarch? This movie would lead me to believe that yes, he is. You got connections out Weta? That's awesome. What exactly are they scared of? They're on his side. That is a good reveal, though. I like the reveal that they are on his side. They really do a good job at misleading you. Because even when I watched this movie, I was convinced that Alan Jonah was going to sway Emma to his side. I didn't think that she was just going to be on his side. Hey guys, just joined. What did I miss? You missed the first 23 minutes of Godzilla King of the Monsters. 23:04, 5, 6, and she's going to flip him off. Oh, that's good. Good stuff. Got him. I love this moment. God, that's such a cool shot. And that choir is so spooky. I really want to see what would have happened if Madison was all in the whole way through if Emma never lied to Madison. She was just down for it. It's such a cool, I don't know, this movie has so much love for the Godzilla franchise. All the Monster Zero references, everything like that. Good stuff. Why does Emma... See, Emma's like kind of snarky with him, and she's on his side. I guess because he is a terrorist, and she doesn't want to be associated with terrorists exactly, but... I also want to see Mothra return. I bet you the kids that played these characters had a lot of fun filming this. Yeah, I bet you the kids in that scene had some fun. The set design, the sound design. I guess the set design is pretty cool as well. But the sound design in this sequence is awesome. You really feel the power of Godzilla. It's so cool. Shout out to Dr. Chen, dude. Most underrated character in this movie. That's a lie. Dr. Ling is the most underrated character in this movie. It's Mazer time, fellas. That was something I didn't catch until Doherty confirmed it on Twitter. That one went right over my head. This is just such an awesome sequence. I really wish that they had waited to reveal Godzilla until after this. Love this scene coming up. Plot twist, Andrew never died and grows up to be the pilot of Jet Jaguar. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Mazers are real quick. Real hard to see them. I do like the set design here. This Monarch base is awesome. Consider us intimidated is a great line, yeah. Again, this is a moment that should have been given to Serizawa. The novelization will explain to you why Mark Russell has them stand down, and it is a solid reason. He realizes that Godzilla is smart enough to recognize weapons as the same thing that attacked him on the Golden Gate Bridge, and so Mark is like, hey, let's maybe not remind him of that time we shot him right in the gills and made him burst through the Golden Gate Bridge. But on the other hand, Serizawa should have been the one to notice that. Serizawa should have been the one to do that. There's my boy, Rick Stanton. Rick Stanton 2020. He'll win. He'll win the fight. That cut is so jarring. That is a continuity error I have noticed every single time. He puts his head down and then snap cuts to his head up. I wonder how much space is dedicated to living space here, as these guys probably don't go home very often. Yeah, good question. I don't know. I love the way Godzilla moves underwater. I also like the idea that he's kind of here warning them, isn't he? You know? See, like, there's Chen's line. It's not an intimidation display for Monarch. He's there to warn them because Godzilla's that smart. But man, this is such a beautiful shot with the silhouette looking at those glowing back spines. And I like that shot too of Godzilla's face. This moment is awesome. That jump scare is so great. The first time I saw this movie, it made me jump pretty hard, right? But not anywhere near as hard as it got my brother Dalton freaking flew when that happened. And then when I watched the movie the next day, because I went that Thursday night, and then I watched it the 31st with a huge group of my friends. And oh man, it got them good. Like, it sent shockwaves down our row when that happened. It was so awesome. And seeing that moment in IMAX, so loud. This movie was a loud movie in IMAX. It's a great movie for IMAX. Not only did it look awesome, but the sound design was so crazy. It made me really upset that I couldn't get to a Dolby theater. It was a loud movie. See, that crossfade, I don't mind that. That didn't stand out to me as particularly bad. This is the first time I've actually noticed it. It's a great jump scare. You don't expect it. The sound booms in Dolby. Oh, I wish I could have seen it in Dolby. Why did Emma call it Monster Zero? Supposed to be because he's the oldest. That's cool. That's a cool idea that people were so terrified of Ghidorah that they tried to erase him from history. Why don't people believe in the hollow earth, dude? If they could prove that Skull Island was hollow, and I get the idea is that Monarch wrote it off as only Skull Island is hollow, but why don't they believe that there's tunnels under the ground that can lead from one place to another? Okay, so this character, right? Asher, is not Alan Jonah's son. His name isn't Asher Jonah, I don't think. We'll have to wait for the credits. But regardless, he isn't Alan Jonah's son. Even if, for whatever reason, they decided to give him the last name, Jonah. If his name is Asher Jonah in the end credits, we'll definitely have to look for that. And it could be. He isn't the son of Alan Jonah. The novelization goes out of its way to explain to us that he is not the son of Alan Jonah. It explains it multiple times in the novelization. What scene are we in? Everyone's storming. Monarch or G-Team is storming the Antarctic base. Thank you very much, Album Tolbert. He says, Kurt Russell sees Outpost 32. Here we go again. Yeah, he's been through this before, hasn't he? Mr. Roger, congratulations. You just got yourself timed out. The novelization makes you like Asher? I wouldn't say that it made me like him, but it certainly fleshes him out more. Bio-Wars playing over this scene is epic. Do you think Methuselah is taller than 300 feet, maybe? Do they mean hip height? I have no idea. I have no idea how tall Methuselah is. G-Team gets kind of dominated in this sequence, don't they? They don't... They don't put up the fight that you'd think they would. Also, what grabs those dudes? Like, those dudes get straight up yanked through walls like the aliens from Alien are there attacking them. People say Methuselah is the oldest Titan. Is that true? I believe that is true, yes. I believe that is true. For those of you who don't know, an EKG reading is a heartbeat. They are picking up Godzilla's heartbeat. I love how Mark runs in there with just a pistol. Yeah, Mark only takes... That's what I was just saying. Mark grabs the pistol and he's like, I got this. See, I think because Alan has a reaction to Ash getting shot, that people assume he's the son, but he is not. Why didn't Emma just let Madison go? Why didn't... I mean, I kind of get it, right? Emma was worried for a few reasons, because Madison would spoil the plan. She'd spill the beans. And also, Monarch doesn't know what's coming, so she wouldn't be as safe. But also, from a personal level, I'd think that Emma might be like, yeah, go with him. If Ghidorah inspiration for dragons, does that mean he was kind enough to humans to inspire Eastern dragons? No way. That's just, there's probably more than just Ghidorah as a dragon in the Monsterverse. I just imagine Ghidorah is the biggest, most powerful, and meanest dragon in the Monsterverse. Let me know when you get to the Mark waking up scene. I'll let you know, yeah. If I remember. Foster almost gets killed right there. I don't know how she falls over that ledge, but she does. Thank you very much, Congo, for the donation. Yeah, there are a few other dragons. Yeah, why did Foster fall? That's what I just said. Why did she slip? What scene are we in? We are in the Ghidorah awakening scene. The icebreaker, actually. We are in the icebreaker sequence, as it's called in the soundtrack. I've always thought the ice looks kind of weird during this sequence. It looks very blocky. I don't know how to explain it, per se, but the ice looks very blocky. Yeah, Kevin's about to appear, yes. Good on Mark Russell going back for them. Good character development, or I don't know if that's character development, but good character moment. Me and my friends are making a MonsterVerse Son of Godzilla movie that inspired by the kid adventure movies of the 80s and 90s. What do you think? Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Stranger Things kind of vibes, probably. Like the knuckles popping. It's a cool outpost, though. Whatever that little globe is on top, kind of very Final Wars reminiscent, but it looks awesome. You know how cold that would be? To dive head on into a huge pile of snow like that? I still want a potential animated MonsterVerse project. Me too. Such a cool moment. The rise of Ghidorah. I love the lightning down there. Why did they get off the Osprey? Why did they do that? The good old rattlesnake tales that we heard about. There's still a part of me that wishes we could have had some hair on Ghidorah's neck. But alas. That's such a cool shot. The detail on Ghidorah's face right there is really awesome as well. Looks fantastic. But watch this chunk of ice Ghidorah is about to spray up into the air when he cracks his wing through the ground. They're just so blocky, dude. These big chunks of ice. I remember seeing this scene in Screen X was pretty crazy. This scene in particular was pretty awesome. I don't think it was like one of the standout moments, but it was pretty awesome. This poor G-Team, dude. Those guys on the ground right now, they know for a fact that they're dead. Those are true heroes. And they get vaporized. Good stuff. Always like a good vaporization. Did you know that Ghidorah's behavior design is based on king cobras and rattlesnakes? I did know that that takes a lot of snake inspiration. Oh man, I just missed Kevin licking the ground. Oh shoot. Ghidorah looks really awesome in this movie. His neck size kind of changes depending on what scene you're watching though, doesn't it? Sometimes his necks are longer than others. But I do like the insight into Ghidorah's psyche that the novelization gives us. It's something that Michael Dougherty has mentioned, that Ghidorah is a creature that enjoys doing what he's doing. He's always bullying the other heads, isn't he? Bites Kevin right in the horn. But I like the idea that right here, Ghidorah knows that people are in this Osprey, and he knows he could just blow it up, but he makes the conscious choice to mess with them before doing that. I think that's really kind of creepy of a monster to do. It's not something we hear about a lot of monsters doing. And then, of course, he can sense the presence of the king. This is an awesome moment. I love the music build up here being borrowed from 2014. So cool. It's not technically the same choir, but it's very much an intentional reference to that big, you know, the big build up. And it's so cool. Oh man, those dorsal fins look great. The blue always looks awesome, shining through them, and Godzilla looks huge here. Ifukube's music playing here also got me to tear up in the theater. I love when Kevin has to look at the center head right there. And this is a cool moment as well. That shot is so brilliant. And then that 2014 roar is pretty awesome. I'm glad they kept it. I know that I prefer the good old Toho roar, but that 2014 roar is so powerful. It would have been a shame if they got rid of it in favor of the old roar. There's so many cool things here. Godzilla smashing the head into the ground being one of them. Just the way Godzilla fights in this movie is pretty cool. Because he's clearly over it. He's clearly like, this guy again, you know? He's like, not again. Godzilla getting toasted by the gravity beams there. Get ready for that moonlight shot. There it is. And you got the 54 roar. It's pretty awesome. Now we're coming up on my least favorite part of the movie right here. I hate this. I'll never I'll never appreciate this upcoming moment, but this is awesome. I love the 2014 reference here. Even Michael Dougherty was like, yeah, that's too awesome not to pay tribute to one movie later. 2 movies later, including Shin Godzilla. And the anime, I guess, would make it more. Seeing Ghidorah dodge the atomic breath is really awesome as well. There's so many great moments in this fight. We got the 62 roar. I hate this. Just snaps her. Snaps her right up. I couldn't even tell who died the first time I saw this movie. I was like, who was that? Was that Dr. Graham? I watched a video of mine. God, I wish I could remember which video it was. Oh, I think it was my trailer, not breakdown, but shot by shot. The shot by shot I did for Godzilla King of the Monsters SDCC trailer. It's a cool shot right here of Godzilla roaring. I love that. All right, Sir Who Asked for Mark Russell waking up. He is fading to black right now. And he's awake. He's awake, guy. But I was watching my... it was my SDCC trailer shot by shot, I'm pretty sure. And in that video, it may have been my breakdown, but I think it was the shot by shot. In that video, I said, yeah, we don't see much of Dr. Graham in this trailer. I'm hoping they don't pull a Pacific Rim Uprising and Mako her. I really hope she sticks around, but I'm worried they'll kill her in this movie. And you know what they did? They pulled the Pacific Rim Uprising, they Mako'd her, and they killed her. What the hell? Michael Dougherty better have explained himself when I scrolled through these tweets. He better have explained why they killed her. Kyle Chandler's an awesome actor. There has never been something that I have seen with him in it that he hasn't been awesome. I watched Manchester by the Sea a few months ago, and he was the only good part of that movie for me. I didn't like that movie, but I sure did like him in that movie. Kind of sad no one from 2014 will be in all 3 films. Very sad. Fingers crossed, Admiral Stenz, who is not technically dead in canon, fingers crossed he'll return. It's a cool shot of Godzilla under the ocean. I don't think that's as cool as the shots of Godzilla in the ocean from 2014, but it's a cool shot. Because Admiral Stenz is technically not dead in the Monsterverse. In the novelization, it isn't confirmed, and in the movie, it was deleted, meaning it especially isn't confirmed because deleted scenes are not canon. So, I think there is the potential that Stenz is back. Or could come back, I should say. Not is back. I don't necessarily think he will be back, but he could be. I wonder if there's a webcam right there at that screen, which is why they have to huddle around it. Because that could be. I always wonder, why do they all gravitate towards that one screen? And it could be because they know that the webcam is right there. Could be kind of like Star Trek. Shouldn't say a webcam. I doubt it would be a webcam. Like, she's using the exact webcam that I use to record my videos. That scene was deleted because he's not dead. People seem to think deleted scenes are a part of the film. They are not a part of the film. He is not dead. Her motivations never made a hell of a lot of sense to me in this sequence. And then I read the novelization and I got it. Her motivations are a lot more fleshed out in the novelization, and the explanation she gives is kind of solid. The explanation she gives is Andrew died because the world was out of balance. Oh, my bad on the voice crack. Andrew died because the world was out of balance. Had the world not been out of balance, the Mutos wouldn't have woken up, and neither would Godzilla. And so Andrew would have lived. And so they need to make sure that the Titans balance the world before going back into hibernation so that no more Andrews will die for the next long period of time. And they just accidentally woke up the one Titan who they should not have woken up first, or at all. These shots of Kong, how did they get that shot? Who took that footage? I don't have a problem with her playing footage. I know some people are like, oh, she just has a PowerPoint pulled up and ready to go. This is clearly something she's been plotting for a while. This is clearly something that she has been planning for an extended amount of time. And for whatever reason, Alan is okay with her doing this. This should not come as a surprise to people that she has kind of a presentation ready to go. Like, why would that surprise people? This has been something she's been planning on for years. And she wants Monarch to understand because she wants these people to live. So she's going to try and convince them. I wonder how many deleted scenes exactly that we won't see, or exist that we won't see. Really want to see that supposed 3-hour cut of the film. I also want to see that supposed 3-hour cut of the film. And I asked Michael Doherty on Instagram, and he confirmed that there are lots of deleted scenes that exist that we do not know about. You tell her, Sarazawa. She knew she'd have to host the video conference at some point. Exactly. She knew what was up, dude. What better way to make people understand and agree than with a presentation that she isn't been working on? That she's been working on? Oh, that she has been working on. I read that wrong. I like how this one speech swayed Madison Russell, showing just how fragile her beliefs in what Emma was doing really were. It is kind of like a Zoom call. Ran a lot more smooth than most Zoom calls, though. Ah, geez, why are people kissing me? Got her. You tell her. Dr. Chen. Quite obvious since we have won the first deleted scene that wasn't in the what? I don't know what you're talking about. That didn't make much sense, that sentence. There's only one no, not even. Yeah, there's only one deleted scene that I can think of that I would consider true canon. That being the trying to reach Monarch. Because not only did they film it, put it in the trailers, release that clip online, but that entire sequence is in the novelization. Whereas in the novelization, it never says Admiral Stenz dies. It never says that. The novelization says they lose contact with him, but it does not specify why. I don't know. I'll have to definitely reread that portion just to find out. I don't think he's dead. Doherty has remained silent on the topic. People have been asking him on Instagram and Twitter for a while, and he has not. Yeah, I love this. He does not give any definitive answers. Yeah, the novelization is supposed to be canon. I appreciate how understanding the eco-terrorists are. They're not being too mean to Emma. They're not forcing her to do it. They're simply just asking that she goes through with it because they're going to lose their opportunity pretty soon. I like that. This is a great sequence. I am at 54, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. It's a cool siren, whatever that sound is. And I like the orca's sound. The sound that it makes right here is really cool. And it will make that sound again at the end. I don't love the busting of that metal containment facility. I think it looked cooler in trailer 1 when it just exploded. I don't necessarily love the Rodan legit confirmed. This time, yeah. I love Rodan climbing out of the lava. It's so cool. I think these zooms are acceptable. I know a lot of people don't really like them, but I kind of like them. It kind of gives it a bit of a documentary feel. Oh wait, the watch along is happening again? It sure is. That's not true, Godzilla 154. This is not the only Rodan roar in the movie that resembles the original. I will point it out when he does the original roar. I am kind of surprised it took Monarch this long to figure out that Ghidorah is the one causing the hurricane. You'd think that they would figure that out sooner. So what do you think? Yeah, this is another moment. I guess this moment's actually okay. You can let Mark Russell have this one. If Serizawa was the one who said, open the gates, stand down the weapons, don't attack Godzilla. If Serizawa was the Godzilla expert only, I could live with that. If Mark Russell still had this moment, I could be fine with him knowing what was going on with Rodan, because he is the animal behavior guy. That is his deal. I remember when everyone thought that there were 2 Rodans in the trailer. Because the Argo was so big. What do you think Ghidorah was going to do, though, is what I was going to ask earlier. Do you think Ghidorah was just kind of... where was he headed? Where was Ghidorah going? This is such an awesome destruction sequence. We need more awesome Rodan destruction sequences in the future. But where was Ghidorah heading? Because he does his mass awakening following this sequence. Does he only do that because he gets the confidence from the oxygen destroyer knocking out Godzilla? Is that why he's like, yeah, I could do this? Why does he wait so long? God, dude, this Rodan sequence is so cool. I wish we had a bit more of the destruction in the city, but this little jet dogfight sequence, not only is it an awesome throwback to the 56 Rodan film, but it's got so much cool stuff in it. The visuals are awesome here. It's the only true daytime fight in this movie. Looks awesome. And I love Rodan just kind of tanking the missiles, and then that flap move's really awesome. And right here you can see Rodan does this thing where when he flies above the Argo and then dives down towards it, his wings will flap outward, kind of like that. And the NECA figure lets you do exactly that, which is pretty sweet. The fact that Doherty recreated this moment from the giant claw is absurd. Either that or he sees Rodan bow to him and he wasn't sure beforehand, or he knew Godzilla was still the king of the monsters and he couldn't take control away. That could be possible. This spin move is so badass. I just realized that noise is that girl's scream. Every time right there, Rodan does that with his wings that the Nekatoy does. Every time I've seen this movie, I've always thought Rodan's the one who makes the like noise, but that is totally the girl screaming as she gets murked. There's a bit too many close calls like this in the movie, where the monster's about to do something and then they draw back. But this is such a cool reveal shot of Ghidorah. Oh man, it's awesome. Hey, I wonder if Ghidorah even noticed the Argo jet right there. I wonder if he was solely focused on Rodan. And that's such a beautiful shot. That's like a painting right there. There's a lot of painting-esque moments in this movie that look real beautiful. I do think the CGI in this film is probably the weakest of the MonsterVerse because there's so much of it. There's so much CGI in this movie. But I think for the most part it holds up really well. And a lot of the shots do kind of resemble paintings because the special effects aren't as realistic as they were in the other MonsterVerse films, and a little bit because that was a very intentional stylistic choice. I wonder how this fight would have gone if Rodan was Godzilla's height. I think it would have gone fairly different. I think Rodan would have very much held his own in this battle if he was Godzilla's height. I don't think he would have won, but I think he would hold his own. This dude has such a deep voice. That dude's like a video game character. That could be such an awesome finisher move. If this was a Ghidorah versus Rodan movie, that would be the MonsterVerse finisher. Ghidorah would have stripped him, ripped his wings off, and then blast a hole straight through him and killed him. Here's the thing with Stenz, right? He's not a bad guy, although I do think they kind of waste the oxygen destroyer here. I love the inclusion of the oxygen destroyer. I think it could have been... I don't know. I wouldn't have this be the only use of an oxygen destroyer in the MonsterVerse. I would probably include it again, because I think if this is the only use, it's not used to as great of an effect as it could have been. But it's pretty cool. I mean, they do get their use out of it, and it does lead to the rest of the movie's plot happening. But here's the thing with Stenz, is he's not a bad guy, is he? You could argue that he's kind of an antagonistic force to someone like Serizawa, simply because he's not Team Godzilla, but he's not a bad guy. He's doing the right thing. He's trying to. And his motives are completely understandable, you know? So I think killing him unceremoniously is just kind of, I don't know, disrespectful to the character? Or it's a little depressing in a sense that this movie kind of demonizes Admiral Stenz when he's not a bad guy. The fact that the oxygen destroyer is a prototype implies that it's come back. I kind of feel the same. That's a good moment. And I like the music right here. Is awesome. This song is so cool. A Mass Awakening, one of the best songs on the soundtrack. And here's the other thing, is they didn't know Godzilla was inbound. Right? They didn't know that Godzilla was going to swoop in and kill Ghidorah right here. Michael Dougherty has basically confirmed that had the oxygen destroyer not hit Godzilla, he would have killed Ghidorah right here. He would have stripped all his heads off and he would have killed him. But, yeah, the CG in the water doesn't look great. I agree. But here's the thing is, no one knew that Godzilla was going to do this, so you can't blame him for shooting them with the oxygen destroyer. He was doing that to try and kill Ghidorah and Rodan. He didn't know. How could he have known? Serizawa says, we have to have our faith in Godzilla. It's like, well, where is he? He just shows up out of nowhere. That is a huge explosion. Could you imagine how terrifying that bomb would be in real life? I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to say it. I refuse to say it, in fact. I will not say it. You in the comments can say it, but I will not say it. That's a cool. So many awesome moments like that. There you go. Sour Octopus got it. A Shin Godzilla watch along could be awesome. The Mass Awakening is your favorite scene? That's fair. Godzilla dies right there, guys. I know you all want to dismiss this, but Godzilla straight up dies right there. And then he's restarted when he makes it to the Hollow Earth. He's dead. There was a pretty classic moment when I was showing this movie to my friends, you know, when I took them all to the theater. Can we donate so you say it? If you donate, I'll say it. Godzilla's dead. There's a pretty classic moment when that happens and my friend pulls out her phone or her watch or whatever and checks it. And she's like, pronounced Godzilla's time of death. Like at 7:30 p.m. Godzilla died. It's pretty good. I love the regeneration here. And it is a cool reveal. Oh my god, that roar. That shot. Oh, that shot is so good. The regeneration of Ghidorah's head is good. It's a good reveal. It was a good trick for people who didn't have that spoiled for them. My brother was convinced that Ghidorah was going to just be a two-headed dragon the rest of the movie. This is such a cool sequence. God damn. Oh man, the Mass Awakening is cool. The song is awesome. And those Titan reveals are awesome. And then there's Rodan coming to bow. Like a little pushover. Did the roar and Dolby is spine tingling? It was in IMAX as well. Oh man, it's so good. Look at Ghidorah just basking in this moment. Long live the king. Toasted. Got her. I mean, that would be pretty brutal to be like, well, we were supposed to wake up one monster, let it destroy a city, kind of let Godzilla do his thing, wake up another monster, let that destroy a city, but instead we woke up King Ghidorah. That's an underrated shot of Scylla's legs bending in right there. I wish Houston Brooks had more to do in this movie. This is way too quick of a cameo. He does not have nearly enough screen time here. Dr. Ling. Dr. Ling is the true most underrated character in this movie. Look, I get that they're played by the same actress, but that hair, I think it works a lot better here than it does on Dr. Chen. I think Dr. Chen's short hair isn't as good. Oh my god. The Tokyo SOS moment. And this music. I'm gonna put my both headphones in. Turn the volume all the way up. It's so good, dude. Oh man. The sound design is awesome. I don't know how she manages that. I don't know how she blows those up. But Yuji Koseki's theme, man. And she's so beautiful and elegant. I really feel this Dr. Brooks moment. Watch the way her hands move. She moves like... It's so... Man. That scene is perfection. I feel that Dr. Brooks moment, though. Just put your hands out. Bask in Mother's greatness. But like the way that Zaya Zing moves right there when she takes her hood off, oh, it's like beautiful in and of itself. She does this like real cool. I don't know. She like her hands move like wings. Man. I like how people adore Mothra. How could you not? Emma Russell winning the Mother of the Year award. Why do her wings look a lot shorter in future moments? I don't know. I haven't noticed that. Here I am watching a guy watching what could be the death of the Monsterverse. This is not the death of the Monsterverse. Got him. Why would she say that? Why would she not just say myth is our compass? This is great. This is an awesome reveal. Calling Monarch doesn't come here, man. It comes much later. It comes in it comes much later. I love the Infinite Island stuff. I love the song here is awesome as well. It's very beautiful. And her speech is so cool. When I finally clicked in my brain, I was like, oh my god, dude, the redemption that a dragon will bring is Ghidorah bringing Emma's redemption. That was like a mind-blowing moment for me. It was like my second or third viewing of the movie. Oh, so cool. How did they lose that image? How did they lose that image from 1973 until now? Where did that go? How did they forget that exists? I bet you Houston Brooks knew what was up. Can't believe that Ghidorah is an alien. I'd been saying from the beginning that they need to make Ghidorah ambiguous. I cannot believe that they straight up call him an alien. That is the cringiest joke in the movie, dude. I'm not a fan of that joke. It doesn't offend me like it offends some. If you got offended by that joke, that's embarrassing. It doesn't offend me, but it sure does. I think it's so cringy. Some awesome destruction shots here. And I love the reuse of footage from the Proof of Concept 2014 film, the mood piece that was done in 2012. That footage, I'm glad we got it, because it was going to be sad if that disappeared forever into the ether. Gonorrhea is a bad joke, but it doesn't ruin the film like some says. I agree. If you're going to be that crybaby who's like, oh, this ruins the film. That's a funny. I don't know, the concept of that makes me laugh. Concept of snapping at them like they're in class. See, Stenz is listening here, you know? It's not like he's blowing them off, like, let's blow up all the Titans, let's nuke every single one of them. He is actively here, seeking Monarch's help, hoping that they can provide some help, you know, some explanation of what to do. That's what he wants, and that's exactly what they're doing. And he follows their lead. He follows Monarch's lead. The fact that people talk about him like he's a villain kind of upsets me. Who created that tornado? Which Titan is that? I need to see that guy in the future. That is awesome. Tornadoes are the real world Titans. They are terrifying and they are awe-inspiring and awesome. It just gets worse. God, I love that. Oh, that's a great line. But I need to see that tornado monster, dude. I don't even remember what the hell I was saying before I got distracted by the tornado. What was I saying? Oh, the Admiral Stenz kind of embodies the arrogance of man, but that doesn't make him a bad guy. I wouldn't say a tornado is beautiful. I think a tornado is downright scary. As someone who grew up as a child in the center of Tornado Valley, it was a pretty real threat that was on my mind a lot as a kid. And when you get those tornado warnings, that was like Jesus. Things got real. Now we just got to worry about the house burning down every 4 months. Every hill sets on fire in the area. Sam Coleman has a big point here. Where the hell is he running? I mean, I understand his motivations, don't get me wrong. He just explained it. I'm not an idiot. I'm just saying Sam Coleman has a point here. We got to worry about fires and the ground opening up and eating us. Very true. I wouldn't say Stenz. I just the guy that does what he gets told by the higher ups. I wouldn't say Stenz. I just the guy that does what he gets told to do by the higher ups. My brain can't compute that. I like the whale noises here that Mothra makes. Mothra is so goddamn perfect in this movie, dude. And once again, Yuji Koseki's theme, awesome. I'm gonna pop both headphones in for. Let's pop that in, so we can appreciate it. Oh, it's so good. This is such a cool. Her little cries right here. You could just almost like feel the warmth of Mothra in that scene. God, I love it. Say, D-Man, do you think Mothra has a Jesus-like vibe to her? I sure do. I showed a bunch of little... What just happened? I don't know if I've just seen that shot in reverse so many times, but that shot of Mark Russell standing next to Rick Stanton seemed flipped to me. I don't know why I always remembered Rick Stanton being on the left side of the screen, and then he wasn't. That really just blew my mind. If Sacred Springs was in this movie, that would probably make me cry. Because that was another moment where I got hit with hard chills and teared up almost every single time I saw this film in theaters, and I saw this film 8 times. But anyways, I showed this movie to... So where are we currently? We just got to the Queen of the Monsters scene. We are at 1, 18, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. But I showed this movie to my little cousin. She's 3 years old. 3 years old. I didn't show her the full movie. I just showed her highlights because she was interested. She saw some Godzilla toys and was like, what's Godzilla? So I was showing her the rebirth sequence where Godzilla rises up from the sea and fires his breath in the sky. She loved it. And then I was like, you know what she'll love even more? Mothra. So I showed her a bunch of classic Mothra moments from the Showa era. And then I showed her all of Mothra moments in this movie. And she loved it. Holy cow, did she eat that stuff up. She was so in love with Mothra. And when When she heard Mothra's cry, whatever you'd call it, during the Queen of the Monsters scene, oh my god, she was squealing. She loved it so much. She thought Mothra was the cutest thing in the world. And she herself, being a twin, thought that the Mothra twins were the best thing ever. You know, a little 3-year-old seeing twins with Mothra. It made her feel like she was with Mothra. Mothra really does not get enough screen time in this movie. And this is my favorite scene of the movie. As I shared last week, this is by far my favorite scene of the movie. And there's not a single monster in it. How do you think Dr. Stanton was able to pick up Godzilla's calls through recording? Godzilla's bioacoustics travel forever. You know, whales' calls travel for miles and miles. So picture something as large as Godzilla. The noises he would transmit they'd go forever. That line is so freaking perfect. This speech is beautiful. And it's extended in the novelization and original draft of the screenplay. I'm just not even going to talk. I'm just going to listen. And even this joke, I don't think is... I think some people have a problem with that joke. But I don't. I have the similar reaction to Mark Russell right there. It's not like a, oh ha ha, knee slapper kind of joke, and it's not played that way. It's played as just a moment of levity, I think is the right word to use. Yeah, I think that's a great speech. The extended version is also great. I got a notebook. It's in my backpack back there. And that's the first page is Serizawa's speech written out. I loved it so much. The fact that they would leave the orca unattended, what is going on? Why did they do that? How strong do you think Methuselah is? I've got no idea. Fairly strong. Could Serizawa just be joking at the end there? He is joking at the end there. He didn't read that in a fortune cookie. He wasn't saying, yeah, I legit read it in a fortune cookie. He was joking. Yeah, she definitely has Sneak 100 for real. USS Brody. Named after the man who died, potentially, in 2014. Where are we currently? We are in DC. Now we just cut to the bottom of the ocean. We are at 123, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I hope Brody is alive. Me too. I think Bradley Whitford's line delivery there is awesome. And I think it's even better when you get that, "Shut up, Rick." I think that's great. There's Ghidorah in the clouds that changed in most of the trailers that it was used in. That shot didn't change. I mean, The shot we're about to get to changed, where Rodan's flying and Ghidorah's in the background. He wasn't originally in the background, but that shot was always left the same. What are your thoughts on the Muto Queen, also known as Barb? I think it's cool. You know, I think it's cool that we have a little bit more background on her. I wish we could get some more like biological explanation for why she is the way she is. I think I came up with a good headcanon reason for why she looks like that, but I would sure like an in-universe explanation as to why she is like that. I assume it's because she is the final state of a Muto that doesn't turn into a Jinshin Mushi. City down here looks awesome. Wish we could have explored it a little more. Imagine coming across the first city. Imagine that. The first city. This massive temple, larger than most modern day skyscrapers. Huge structure with these incredible secrets to be revealed about our origins and everything like that. And then imagine blowing it up immediately after finding it, just nuking the whole thing. Damn. Imagine the information they lose out on when they just blow it up. What if the USS Brody is Brody's own ship? Sure isn't, but that'd be interesting if he was just the one on that ship. Do you think that underwater city is Atlantis? Yeah, I do think that would be the MonsterVerse version of Atlantis. I do think that. Here we go, Madison Russell, sneak 100 again. She just casually walks on out of there, too. They don't even notice. I'll throw this in here, seeing as you aren't checking tweets right now. Mike basically confirmed Godzilla has multiple temples dedicated to him, so he basically had multiple homes. I did not know that. I didn't know that at all. Okay, nobody sees me. I'm invisible. Exactly, dude. she just walks on out of there. Hey, little buddy. Hope you are well. Well, thank you very much, Figure Mania Show. Welcome to the chat, everybody. If you don't know who Figure Mania Show, he makes awesome figure art. You really need to check it out. Go check out his YouTube channel and check out his Twitter and Instagrams as well. Makes awesome art. Please explain why Godzilla did not explode. He was carried up into the sky by Ghidorah and then gets dropped on his back. I'm not sure why that happened. Why he didn't explode, as in why he didn't go thermonuclear and explode at the end of the movie. When Ghidorah drops him and he hits the building, he expels a massive amount of nuclear energy. I think it's just kind of like when you get the wind knocked out of you, but the kaiju version of that, the Godzilla version of that, I think he hits the ground. I don't have a problem with that joke. I think that joke's fine. Some people have a problem with that, but I think it's subtle, downplayed enough to the point where it's okay. But he hits the ground and he expels all this energy because it's kind of like getting the wind knocked out of him. This moment, I have a huge problem with the editing here, or the pacing of the film. This is a great moment, and I love Rick Stanton. I think this scene is great, and I think what follows it is even better. But I don't like the fact that we cut back to Boston right after Serizawa agrees to sacrifice his life. I think it really undercuts the impact of Serizawa's sacrifice. That should be a big reveal moment, and we should transition from here directly into him going to sacrifice himself so that we really have to feel that weight and that emotion. But instead, we immediately cut away. And once we cut away, like, look, I get it. They're doing this here, I'll go, so that there can be some passage of time. They can have their debates off screen, whatever. Just do another crossfade into him getting ready to go or something. Put another scene there. Don't cut to this Boston sequence. This should have happened earlier. This should have happened with the other Boston sequence, because this is something you don't want to lose. It's an awesome moment, real cool. This should have immediately followed Madison Russell setting up the stuff in the Fenway. This should have immediately followed that, because it's a really cool moment. And there's a lot of great visuals here, and it's also important for the plot. You can't lose this point, because you need the understanding that now she's activated this thing in Fenway. But you have so much happening that all immediately follows Serizawa's massive reveal. And now you're thinking about, oh my god, Behemoth, oh my god, the Muto. You're thinking about Rodan and Ghidorah destroying DC. You're thinking about everything that isn't Serizawa's gonna kill himself. He's gonna die here. I think it really undercuts the emotion of that. I just think this section should have been restructured, and it would have felt a lot more tragic. Why does Madison smash the screen here? Madison, you're in the chat. Why did you smash the screen here? Why'd you smash it before leaving? Were you like, I don't... How heavy is this bomb supposed to be? This is the scene we should have cut to. Because this is sad, dude. And the song. The Key to Coexistence, my favorite song on the soundtrack. And this is a relationship we should have seen more of. We should have seen more of the relationship between these two characters. Smashed like a picture frame, but it's an iPad. She sure did. You don't want to see me if I'm mad. Fair enough. Oh man, the music here. I wish this wasn't spoiled for me. I so badly wish this wasn't spoiled for me a year in advance. Why was it spoiled for me a year in advance? This would have made me cry. I wish we would have seen more of the DC battle scene. I agree, we really should have seen more of that. And the idea that Serizawa is only willing to go through this because Dr. Graham is gone, I suppose that justifies the need to kill Dr. Graham, but I don't think it justifies the means in which they killed her. If Godzilla on the Ocean Floor was mixed in, I would have cried big boy tears. That would have devastated me. That song would have killed me. That moment when I watched the original movie, still to this day, Serizawa's death in the original movie will impact me like real hard. It always hits me hard when I watch the Japanese version. Oh man. Goodbye Old Friend is an awesome song. I'm getting goosebumps watching this scene. Kind of like how Serizawa has to go into a little bit of a hellscape to save Godzilla. It's like the Hollow Earth itself is almost a version of hell, but it's got this god in it, not a devil. I gave in and bought one of the Mondo Attack posters, Godzilla vs. Hedorah. It's freaking awesome looking. I don't know what those Mondo Attack... I do know what those are. Those did look really cool. I missed those. I didn't get one. You see those Godzilla-headed people. I did see those Godzilla-headed people. They were cool. Oh, man. How did he carry that bomb? It has to be so heavy. I suppose you would be able to take the glove off here, huh? What does he think about this? You know, what does Serizawa, whose dad had to live through Hiroshima firsthand, what does he think about the fact that he is now using a nuclear bomb to revive Godzilla? I think he might be like, my dad would be okay with this. Thank God they made Godzilla's eyes bigger so he could have this expressive moment where he looks down at Serizawa. Who wouldn't want to do this? You're going to die. Who wouldn't want to touch Godzilla when they die? Except for the people getting crushed by his foot. Or his tail. This sequence is too good. This is the perfect cinematic. Goodbye, Anguirus. Perfect cinematic sequence. Or this is, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. From Serizawa's Key to Coexistence scene all the way up until the Battle of Boston's over is the perfect chunk of Godzilla for me. It's got the emotion, the heartstrings being pulled. It's got awesome action. It's got Ifukube and Yuji Koseki. It's got everything I need. It's probably my second favorite scene in the movie right here. I'm really interested in what Madison thinks of Serizawa because I kind of would like the idea. She sort of saw him as an uncle. I like that idea as well. I do wonder what her relationship with him would have been. Do you think people will be in a hurry to get back to the movie theaters after this pandemic is over? I do. I do think people will be rushing to the theaters. Oh, here we go. I'm popping the headphones back in. It's too good. Oh, man. Godzilla's theme here is so... It's too... And it looks so crisp and clean. Yeah, that moment's just too awesome, dude. I love this so much. Then you get the evil Godzilla theme. This gets me hyped every time. Me too. This looks so good on my 4K TV. This looks good on my 4K monitor. You and I both. This is great. I like how you can hear Godzilla's heart. It's a really nice use of sound design, and I'm pretty sure that's King Kong's heartbeat from the 76 movie. I know that was used in the sound design for this movie. I think it may be used as Godzilla's heartbeat as well. Having King Kong's heart as Godzilla's, that feels weird. Man, that looks awesome. That scene's so good. The music is beautiful. Oh, jeez. I love this film. This was also a moment that made me tear up in theaters. I teared up like 7 times when I saw this movie. The first time I saw it. It was like 7 times during the movie I teared up. They really do Sam Coleman dirty here. They do not fill him in on the info that he needed. You hear about AMC starting to refuse to show Universal movies because they chose to go VOD? I did hear about that. Do you think that could be a good thing for Godzilla vs. Kong if fall holds up? No, because I don't anticipate that this Universal drama will last until the fall. I think it will be resolved by September, August. I don't anticipate they will still be withholding Universal movies from theaters, but if they are, absolutely. If they are still withholding Universal movies from theaters, that means Godzilla vs. Kong has a lot of time on its own. You know, we have Disney's Soul, but it's the only adult movie coming out within the second half of November. I love that line delivery. That cracks me up every time. What do you think you're doing? This is too funny. I wonder how large the Argo looks in person. I've seen B-2 bombers fly over before, and they're pretty huge. I can only imagine how big the Argo looks. It would be so massive. Charles Dance has a lot of good dialogue in this movie as well. She's good with that gun. That was a quick draw. She knows what's up. Emma Russell has had some experience. What does that line mean? What do they have? What do they have? They don't have the Orca. Maybe they just have the blueprints on how to build a new one. Not my favorite scene that made me like Madison Russell so much. Gets you on the edge every time. It's pretty cool. The wind right there is awesome. It's probably also the most iconic shot of the movie. Weirdly enough. Or second most. Second most after Godzilla shooting his breath into the sky. That shot of Madison on the roof is probably second most iconic scene of the movie. Or visual. That was a weird noise that this just made. There's a little bit left. Ready? Listen. Everyone shut up. Shut up. There it is. There it is. The Beady Beaties are back. This is a cool visual. But Warner sure does love to claim your videos every single time you use this visual in your video. They steal your ad rev every goddamn time. That's a cool roar. Thank you very much, Kinky Door, for the donation. Let me dabble with the King of the Monsters watch-along. Let me dabble with the D-Man. Let me dabble with those kinky glasses. Jesus, dude, you love those glasses. That music cue sounds wrong to me every single time. Listen to it. It hits you with like a ba-da-bum. Sounds like it's about to turn into like a ba-da-bum, bum, bum, bum. Like it sounds like it's Godzilla. But then it cuts off so kind of abruptly. I love the way he just sweeps that building out from under itself. That's so cool. Do you know how long NECA has the Godzilla license for? I do not know how long they have the Godzilla license for. I have no idea. I think a while. I think they have it for a while. Gotta go fast. Oh my god. This scene was truly intimidating in Screen X. This was a moment that really, really made you feel just how large and terrifying Ghidorah is. With his wings stretching across all the screens, oh man. That's great. Terror of Mechagodzilla moment. Seen this movie too many times. I'm just here listening to your reactions, and you can probably tell where I'm at too. That show roar, dude. That was I think the last moment in theaters that got me to tear up, because holy god, was it awesome. And you got Ifukube's music kicking in. It's so great. Godzilla leading the charge with the military is so badass. And the transition here into Godzilla's main march is so smooth and so cool. I do think they use it at a strange moment. For Sarazal, oh man. They use it at a strange moment because they use it as a military march, which I find to be very interesting. You know, we haven't heard it used as a military march since 1954, but here it is once again as a military march, no longer Godzilla's theme. Which is pretty awesome, though. Still not in love with how fast Godzilla moves here. And if you do slow this moment down, he is a chunky boy. He is so fat. But it sure does make for a cool visual. Busted TV, get out of here. A lot of people think that Godzilla grew between the beginning of the movie and now, but he didn't. He did not grow. A lot of people think he starts the film as 355 and ends the film as 394. That's not the case. He's 390. That shot, there's a shot coming up here that I'm a little annoyed about. But he started the movie as 394. He didn't grow into it. Okay? Did I already miss this shot? Was it that shot that just happened? I think it was. There's a shot inside of the Argo looking at Godzilla and Ghidorah fighting each other. And I screenshotted that moment because I thought it was so cool and fairly underrated. This was a moment that really did not hold up in Screen X, because if you looked on the side of the screen, you could see Ghidorah's tails were just clubs rather than the furrowed tails, because they didn't put as much effort into the CG on the side screens. But so I took this stupid screenshot because I was like, this shot is so underrated, and I posted that shot on like Twitter or something, and ever since then it's been, that triple snap is sweet. Ever since then, the image has been all over Instagram and Twitter, and everyone's posting it, talking about how they discovered this awesome underrated shot in this movie. It's just like kind of, I don't know why it bothers me as much as it does. I like that moment a lot. I like how fatty the atomic breath looks, and I like even more the Mothra reveal. I like the idea that Dr. Chen kind of summons Mothra to the fight is awesome, and saves them from getting crushed by Ghidorah's tail somehow. Yeah, but I don't know why that shot annoys me so much, but or the fact that that shot got so popular after I posted it. I don't know. I guess I liked it more when it was an underrated shot and I was the only one who appreciated it, and now everyone appreciates it. That's so freaking cool, having Mothra web Ghidorah to a building and then having Godzilla attack him. I wish we got to see more monster combos. You know, I wish... I don't know. I wish we could have seen the monsters using their powers together to benefit one another. That's something that Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster does really well that this film loses out on. You know, in Ghidorah, you got Rodan giving the baby Mothra a ride on his back so that she can blast, you know, Ghidorah with her webs well on Rodan's back so that she can get his heads. We don't have as much of that going on in this movie. That moment where Ghidorah's heads are webbed to this building, that's really the only time in the movie that we get a moment like that where they use their powers together. Would you really get in the car with her? No. She's a terrorist. She's strolling up. You have no idea where she's going to take you. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what she's up to. I love how bad the pilots are in this sequence. I like how they're driving and a jet just flies straight into a building. I like how he doubles down. I like how he doesn't back down. He's not like, oh, my bad. He's like, you know what? You guys suck. There's the Jack Pacific Ghidorah shot where he moves like an action figure. They only got it in. It was do or die. Yes, I saw y'all in the comments last week talking about why would she still have pictures of Mark Russell? Why would she still have this home? She still lived in Boston. She never moved out of Boston. She was only in China temporarily. It was only so that they could be there for Mothra's hatch. And she keeps the pictures of Mark around because she still loves Mark. Her last I love you line is said to Mark specifically, which I find awkward. I think she would have said it to Madison, but Oh, that's so cool. You guys see the new Star Wars movie? Because they totally ripped that off. Godzilla's tail clips through the building in the shot where Ghidorah charges his lightning burst. I will have to check that out because I didn't remember that. I never noticed that. I did notice that shot where Godzilla's like pushing Ghidorah's head through the building looks really weird. It looks like Ghidorah's head is interacting with nothing. Because you're seeing this weird shot from inside the building. I don't know. It looks pretty awkward. How are we already done with Mothra and Rodan's fight? How are they already on this building, dude? This end sequence went so much faster than I remembered it going. By the way, I know Mr. Doherty said that potentially Rodan's pregnant with Mothra's babies right there. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. He was joking. She did not just impregnate Rodan by shooting eggs into him. Her eggs are far too large for that to be the case. Not to mention, she just laid an egg in China. My man was joking. This is a moment that I think is a lot better in the novelization. A lot better. Madison dies here in the novelization. She straight up is dead. And she has like a afterlife experience with Mothra, where kind of Mothra brings her back to life. That is such a cool concept that I am so bummed that it was cut from the film. Like the idea that Mothra is kind of this spiritual goddess in the afterlife is so cool. If Mothra is more like a wasp, it would have made more sense. And then Rodan gets eaten from the inside out. Yeah, but we already know what Mothra's eggs look like, and she clearly did not leave one of those in Rodan. Not to mention, even if Mothra did leave an egg in Rodan, it would have burnt up right away. You tell me not. It would have been melted by the magma blood that dude's got. Okay, here's another critique of this movie. Why do we not have a shot of all four monsters in frame at once? Why are they never on screen together? This is pretty awesome. Again, as I said leading up to this movie, this should have killed Godzilla. Not only is he choked out right here. Not only is he choked. I'm okay with this simply because it gives us that beautiful shot. Oh man, it's so pretty. But this should have killed Godzilla. My man is dead from this fall. This fall will flatten Godzilla like a pancake, and it would explode Boston off the face of the earth. It would not have just broken one building. Boston would be gone. But again, I'll get over it. Suspension of disbelief, whatever. Kong punches harder than a 10,000 foot drop. That's what we're going to have to live with. King Kong is so strong that he will beat up Godzilla regardless of what Godzilla can tank. This is a good moment with Mothra. The music's awesome. I like the sacrificial quality to her. And I love the silhouette here where she looks like an angel. I think she knew that she had to die here. I think she knew that she had to die so that she could give her life force to Godzilla. Let it rain down upon him. It's like Rodan. Rodan knew he had to die in 1993. Ghidorah's heads are so long here. How did his necks get so long? But I think she knew. I think she knew that she had to die. So I think regardless of if Ghidorah was going to blow up Godzilla right there, she would have found a way to sacrifice her life. Either way. Ghidorah does the big suck. Jesus. He sure does, though. There's those bendy dorsal fins, like we're rocking the Showa era rubber. Batman dies in King of the Monsters. Interesting. Never heard that one. Must have missed that scene. I love that Ghidorah snaps his head. That hurts. Someone could make a reaction compilation of all the times I laugh at the monsters getting injured. I take a lot of joy in kaiju violence. What are these guys thinking? What is Chen thinking when she comes off this osprey, looks up and sees Emma Russell standing there with the orca? What is going through her head? Ghidorah's necks are looking a lot smaller here than they were 10 seconds ago. Song here is real good. Battle in Boston's a great song, and Redemption is an awesome song. I'm not in love with the slow-mo screaming. I like this, though. I like the I love you here, even though I think it is weird that it's meant for Mark Russell and not Madison Russell. But I don't know. I'm not in love with this shot of her struggling right there. The close-up of her struggling in slow-mo. I don't know why. I just don't like it as much. Ghidorah is so easily distracted, dude. Everything that moves will pull that guy's... Look how long his necks are here. This dude's necks are the least consistent part of this movie. They stretching all the time. I'm okay with it. It's cool. It makes for cool shots. I wish we could have had more shots like... Get that osprey out of the way. Get more shots of Ghidorah actually wiping out the city. Because it looks really cool. And again, people always ask, well, why doesn't Ghidorah just blow up the truck? He's faster than... Ghidorah should be able to catch a car. Once again, Ghidorah takes some sort of joy in what he's doing. Does anyone notice that Ghidorah's eyes start glowing red in the first half of the film, but then yellow in the second half of the film? It's a small inconsistency that bugs. I did not notice that. No, I've never noticed that. When are his eyes glowing red in the first half of the film? What? Long live the king. Now it's time to get burnt like a crisp, Miss Russell. His eyes are red during the awakening. Kong's eyes glow and he's a gorilla. I can get past a three-headed space dragon's eyes changing color. You feel the power? You feel that? Ghidorah's like, oh, Jesus. When I first heard Mothra's roar during that, oh, that was so cool. That was so cool. I like Ghidorah trying to shimmy away, trying to crawl away like that's going to do any good. Godzilla just barreling down on top of him. Vaporizing each head. Too good, man. Right head was the first to go. That's also kind of cool because it's reminiscent of Godzilla stomping the Muto's chest. Yeah, Emma is very dead. Do you know why Godzilla can stand in the ocean during the rebirth? Yeah, because he's standing on an underwater plateau. Pretty obvious. What part? Godzilla just did his last atomic burst. We are at 1 hour, 58 minutes, 26, 7, 8, 9 seconds. We are panning into the statue in the middle of Boston. Supposed to be a fairly famous statue, but I don't know. You're so lucky you skipped all the TV spots. The nuclear pulse is in one of them. Yeah, thank God. Those TV spots sucked. They were terrible. Okay, I gotta be honest. I've never been the biggest fan of this. I think it looks silly. Jason Lyles revealed last week that in the script, Godzilla just swallows Ghidorah's head. Very glad that doesn't happen. I'm not. The reverse kiss of death is kind of cool. If it had just been the reverse kiss of death, I would have been good with it. But I don't love seeing Godzilla swinging Ghidorah's head around in his mouth and swallowing it. I think it looks a little silly. Good thing he's on our side. You should have gone for the head. he went for all three. But it has a good payoff because the reverse kiss of death is cool. It's my least favorite of the MonsterVerse finisher. Oh, Jesus, dude. I never noticed that. What? Get your glasses up. I never noticed the leaf wings in the shot with Behemoth. I know that the novelization explicitly states that there are leaf wings flying around Boston, but I never noticed they were actually in the movie. Right there, when Rodan landed, he did the shower roar. It was right there. So cool, dude. There's Barb bowing. Scylla bowing. Oh man, this spinning reveal pan, whatever you want to, this whatever. It's so freaking cool. Oh, look at that shot. That shot is Godzilla history right there. Oh my god. Thank God they used that logo. I'm so disappointed they didn't use that logo in the 2014 movie. I'm glad they did it here. And then this song's so cool. This feels like it should have been the montage to end the MonsterVerse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got it all here. You just need a little more Kong. But there's so much cool stuff going on here. This is the song that plays in the cut where Godzilla wins next year. This is the end credits. So good, though. Bro, why do you keep telling me that your celebrity crush is Millie? I get it. Oh, it's too good. This montage was done by the same dude that did the montage to open Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island. So we kind of have this sequence, right? I know I was complaining about it previously. We kind of have it. It just comes in the end credits rather than the opening credits. And it's awesome, man. It's so good. This really does feel like the finale to the MonsterVerse right here. We're going to have to do something a lot crazier next year. Or this year. Ah, geez. We're not that far away. I wish I could have been there for the G-Fest screening. Dude, it was so perfect. It was a little annoying during the movie, but the end credits specifically were perfect. People were just a little cringy with some of the jokes they were screaming out, but the cheering I was down for, and the sing-along was well worth it. Bum, bum, bum. Too good, dude. Oh, man. This song is so hype. I remember seeing the shots of Skull Island here in theaters and out loud cheering. I was like, show him! Show him! I was out loud cheering, hoping to see Kong. But of course, you end it with the Kong Skull Island reference. You gotta, but damn, that was so cool. I really didn't think it was going to be new footage of Kong. I was not expecting new footage of Kong. I was expecting the final shot of Godzilla King of the or of Kong Skull Island. The final shot of him beating his chest and roaring into the camera where you zoom into his eye. That's what I was expecting. Asher Jonah. Why is he credited as Asher Jonah when he's not his son? Okay, so now we know where the misconception comes from, but if you read the novelization, it explicitly says this dude is not the son. I feel bad for the mocap actors now. I didn't realize until last week that because they're listed under the stunts category, the poor guys are put in the miscellaneous crew on IMDb, whereas Godzilla, the fictional character, is put as a cast member. That's pretty rough. I was totally expecting Kong to show up here. Me too, man. Me too. Cave painting is definitely okay. I'm okay with it. Will every MonsterVerse film now from now on just have a cave painting post credits? I don't think so. Imagine Kong becomes king. Holy crap! The monsters would become interesting. What? King? Holy crap! The MonsterVerse would become interesting if he becomes king. Maybe they just have the same last name, but it's not any relationship. Well, again, the the novelization specifically fleshes out their relationship. You get to meet Asher a lot more on a personal level. And the dude is not Jonah Allen's son. Alan Jonah did it again. Yeah, Mothra's theme. Yes. He becomes King Kong. Hell yeah. I'm down next year, Kong 2020. I think Madison is going to be on Godzilla's side in Godzilla vs. Kong. It would make sense considering he saved her. And also, she smiles at the end when he becomes king. I could see that. I could definitely see her being on Team Godzilla. But Millie Bobby Brown, in an interview, said that she was going to be conflicted in the next film on which side to pick. She said that Madison Russell was going to be conflicted, I would imagine, because Kong she'll probably have some connection to in a kind of Mothra sort of way. I could see that being the case, where she kind of has a Mothra-esque relationship with Kong, you know, the kind of the relationship she has with Mothra. And so I could see how that would be difficult for her to pick a side there, especially because we don't know the motivation of why they fight. Depending on the motivation, that could really dictate how things go. Got the good old Godzilla 2014 Icy Cup. I'm sorry, my brother took my logins and started typing in the chat while I was in the toilet. I think he was typing for like 15 minutes. Yeah, sure. Very believable story. Sounds like someone's just trying to cover up for the fact that they have a crush on Millie Bobby Brown, if you ask me. Probably because Godzilla. Why did I read that twice? Maybe does something controversial, and maybe is like he broke the trust she had with Godzilla. That could be the case, yeah. So I did make a video about what if they release Godzilla vs. Kong show. What? I don't know why they would release it on your birthday specifically. That would just be a coincidence if that happens. I think Madison also smiled when Godzilla was going to fight Ghidorah. The novelization even said that her mindset towards Godzilla going to the final fight was basically go kick his butt. Exactly. I think she's on Team Godzilla at the moment, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see which side she goes with. I'm seeing a lot of this in the chat today. The chat seems to have a crush on Millie Bobby Brown, if I'm gathering this correctly. Multiple of you guys are saying this at this point. Anybody remember the leaked footage of Godzilla vs. Kong? I do remember it. And I don't exactly think that will be in the movie, but it might be. How old are you people? I'm hoping that these people are young enough to where it's not a creepy relationship. God damn is Ifukube's Godzilla music so awesome. Oh my god. It's too good. Madison is actually the main villain of Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla and Kong fight her. They team up at the end to fight Mecha Millie Bobby Brown. I think it's funny how some people on Twitter sometimes think I'm actually Millie Bobby Brown. Madison, you're not actually Millie Bobby Brown? If the Madison Russell Twitter was actually ran by Millie Bobby Brown. And Millie Bobby Brown was following me and watching my live streams. Do you know how freaking hype that would be? There's a YouTuber who did a all for rock metal theme of Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah. I think I've seen his Godzilla one. Do you think the virus is going to delay the movie for another year? I don't anticipate it will, but it could. Oh my god, if Akube's music is too good, dude. Yeah, that seems to be the theme of the night, is that the chat has a crush on Millie Bobby Brown. I mean, you guys do you. Just as long as you're young enough for that to not be creepy, you do whatever you want. You feel however you want. Miss Bobby Brown does look pretty, but I'm pretty sure she's a minor last time I think she is. Yes, sir. She certainly is. I'm also technically a minor, but it still feels like I'd be sent to jail. Well, I'm 14, so I can say whatever I want. That being said, I do not have a crush on Millie Bobby Brown. Oh! This music... Oh, dude, I love Godzilla's theme song so much. I love it too much. I really like Millie Bobby Brown as an actress. She's super funny and charismatic too. Don't go super crazy over her, but she's awesome. That's fair. Welcome to the brave new world, my friends. Let's do it. Isla de Mara. Immediately when it said the words Isla de Mara, I'm pretty sure it clicked in my brain. And I was like, oh, snap. It's going to be Ghidorah's head. I'm pretty sure the second it said that, I got it. But this was a scene that we saw some of the footage in the trailers, this shot in particular of Charles Dance. We saw it in the trailers. And when I watched the movie, I forgot that shot existed. And so it was a surprise to me at the end here with him discovering Ghidorah's head. Although the lighting changed drastically in the trailers, it was a very blue shot. Look at that head. I always stare right into Kevin's eye, trying to see if it will move and twitch at all. We'll take it. I wonder what's that supposed to life-size Ghidorah. I wonder what that supposed life-size Ghidorah tooth was used for. We know what that was used for, my friend. We have an answer. Well, that was Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's an awesome movie. I freaking love that movie. My bad. Didn't mean to click that. Gotta rescale Ghidorah so Godzilla's not peeking out from the side. Godzilla King of the Monsters is an awesome movie. Still upsets me to this day when people trash on it. We're not far enough removed for me to be cool with it at this point. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, there it is. What I kind of like to see in the future that Godzilla and Madison have something like an Andero storyline from King Kong 2005. A Kong story on Godzilla would be interesting. Personally, I'm good without it. I don't want that. And here's why. Is because I think it's weird for Godzilla to have that intimate of a relationship with a human. We see something similar to that in Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. Ebra Horror of the Deep has kind of a bit of a reference to that. And it's hella awkward. And also, I'm not sure if King Kong 2005 is the best example. I know technically the 2005 Kong does not fall in love with Andero the way that the other King Kongs fall in love with the girls they grab, right? The 2005 Kong is seeking a companion because he's lonely, and he finally thinks he finds a companion in Andero, And I think that's kind of a more mutual relationship than it was in the other films. But I still think the idea of a King Kong-esque relationship with someone like Madison Russell would be kind of awkward. Why did everyone think that a trailer was going to come today? Do y'all not remember that Legendary flat out came out and told us that we weren't getting a trailer today? Because they did. They told us. Did I close my laptop or did I turned it off? They told us that we're not getting a trailer today. Do you want to see a Destroy All Monsters in the Monsterverse? I think it'd be awesome. Well, Godzilla, or if you kept up to date with the pitch videos, the Godzilla vs. Kong pitch videos I made, you would know I absolutely want a Godzilla vs. Kong. Why did I say that? I absolutely want a Destroy All Monsters in the Monsterverse. Second thing, Legendary said after announcement was don't expect a trailer. I know that. I know they said that. Check all Mike's tweets now. I just closed my laptop, and I will check those off stream. I will read them, and then I will work on making another video. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a series, the What We Learned from the Monsterverse Watch-Along series, in which I am going to cover all the things that I learned from the Monsterverse Watch-Along series. I'm not going to cover every single fun fact that there is about the movies that was covered. If y'all want to do that, you can just go on their Twitters yourselves and you can look into it for yourself. I will not be doing that. I'll only cover the things that I personally learned because I feel like I have a good base knowledge of this stuff, right? My knowledge is more in depth than most fans. That is going to make me sound real arrogant. I can explain. My knowledge on Godzilla is more in depth than most fans because most fans are casual fans. I have a good baseline for the hardcore fans. I don't think I'm the most intelligent guy in the room. I don't think I know the most about this stuff. So when I learn something, I think that's something that most people don't know because I know a lot, which means the casual people don't know that stuff probably. And the hardcore fans, like myself, may or may not. So that's kind of where I judge things, is if I know it. If I know it, I think that most people generally know it. But if I learn it, I think that's something that casual fans won't know. And that hardcore fans may or may not know. Does that make sense? These two comments conflict each other. Someone says I made a fair statement, and the person immediately after him says that I'm getting cocky. I don't think I'm getting cocky, because once again, I'm not sitting here pretending to be the smartest Godzilla fan. I don't even remotely claim to have the most knowledge on this stuff. Yeah, in a movie it would be hard to make. It's just me trying to have some fan fiction come to life. Godzilla and Madison are kind of lonely. I don't know. They could be like, they could have some sort of mutual respect, but Godzilla is a reptile, and reptiles don't really have companionship with people in the way that other types of creatures would. I could see King Kong and Madison Russell having not a traditional King Kong relationship, but a relationship much more close where they can become companions. I just think that with Godzilla specifically, that'd be pretty difficult to pull off. Your knowledge exceeds my own. I accept this. Fair enough. You just speak in facts. I hope the next MonsterVerse film will be a Destroy All Titans and end Phase 1. Agree? I do agree. Reptiles are pretty basic when it comes to relationships. They are. You can have a relationship with a reptile where they will develop a mutual respect for you. You can do that. They won't like you in their traditional sense of it. They're not capable of that. Like my snake in the back, the dude in the tank over there. He's not capable of liking me. You know, he isn't capable of liking me. But he's capable of respecting the fact that I play a very important role in his life. He's capable of understanding my importance to his world, and he's capable of appreciating that in a certain sense. I think Godzilla would be similar. He would be able to appreciate humanity's existence and the role that a certain human plays in his life. I think Serizawa specifically, Godzilla would definitely appreciate the significance that he played in his life. I think Godzilla would certainly have a sense of respect for Serizawa, but I don't think Godzilla is capable of liking a human being and having that kind of a relationship. If you're reading this, you should tell everyone that there's a picture of a timeline for the movies coming out in the future. Well, I don't know about that. But sure. I used to think I was a hardcore fan. I believe I'm more casual now. Well, why is that? What changed? You should style your hair like how it was in that 2015 Instagram story. You looked good. I like my hair like that, actually. The problem is that happens on accident. That happened because my hair was wet, and then I went on a bike ride, and when I got done with the bike ride, my hair was just like super poofy. And then I put a headset on all day, and when I took that headset off, my hair had kind of morphed around the headset and styled itself back into my old hairdo. And I liked my old hairdo. But the problem with my old hairdo is I can't pull it off anymore because, first of all, my hair is just too long now to pull it off. It goes down to my mouth. But the other reason is because I dry it differently now. I used to just comb it straight down and just let it dry. And then I would use head whips to get my hair out of my face. And after whipping my head, my hair would kind of take shape away from my face. But now, if I were to just comb my hair straight down and let it dry straight down, it would wind up looking like it did back in 2017. And we all know how that went. Yeah, but Godzilla is quite far developed for a reptile from a reptile. Very far, I have to say. I agree with that. Yes, like if we say like we say he's on a dinosaur level, which is most likely maybe. I don't know what baseline we have for dinosaurs, but I do think that he is capable of a much wider range of emotions than your traditional reptile. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I'm not convinced Godzilla can have a bonding relationship with a human being. I'm not convinced of that. Maybe. You never know. I'm also more casual because I'm very basic when it comes to what I want from a movie. I know a lot of details of the monsters, though. That's fair. I don't know if I would agree with you, though. I don't know if I would agree that you're a casual. I don't know. It's hard to say because you're running a roleplay account, right? I mean, that takes some commitment and dedication to the franchise. That doesn't count for nothing. Do you think Destroya might appear as Godzilla's biggest rival? If he shows up, certainly. Dinosaurs are pretty dumb. Probably only as smart as chickens, definitely not as smart as cows or parrots. Those were weird examples of animals to use. I'm sorry, but cows and parrots? Why were those your go-to? Like, parrots I can get because they can speak. But yeah, cows seems like a weird one for you. Like dogs would make more sense. Maybe even pigs, dolphins, certainly. T-Rex, they hunted in families and appeared to have intelligence of chimpanzees. Well, I don't know about that science. Crows. Well, you know, some of us here are a little dyslexic, so some of us read the word crows and think you said cows, which made no goddamn sense. Why would you say cow? But crows is a little bit more understandable. Crows are some of the smartest birds you say. I didn't know that. I would have never thought that. And ravens speaking is something I've never heard of. I've never heard of a raven speaking outside of the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Raven. I will probably have to Google that because that sounds spooky and interesting. Ravens sound scary in general, so. As someone who studies paleontology, dinosaurs aren't as smart as they think. Dinosaurs were probably on the same intelligence as your average animal, not chimpanzees, more like wolves at best. Fair. I didn't know ravens can speak. They sound exactly like humans. That is unsettling. I'll look up ravens speaking. Sure, why not? Ravens speaking. Was this one ravens speaking Japanese? That's funny. All right, let's hear this raven speak. Get the.
Ravens are excellent. Good bird. He does all sorts of voices.
Let's hear him then.
Ugh. And sometimes he hears people who have a cold. Good job, Miss J.
What did he say? What did he do? I didn't hear him say anything.
What do you say?
I didn't hear him say anything.
Hello. He's all excited. Wow. Good boy. Hello.
He sounds like such a loser, dude.
This isn't working out good.
This raven sounds like an idiot.
Good bird.
Oh, he just coughs back at her. This raven sounds like he sounds like a socially awkward, like stereotypical high school student. Hi.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, but do you think these
Hello.
he's switching up the voices? Dang. Look at that raven. He really do be switching up the voices on us. He went from a male's voice to a female's voice so quick. Hello. Do you think they have any idea what they're saying, though? Like, those ravens don't know what those noises mean. They're just trying to emulate us. They got no idea what they're saying. I don't know the name, but it's from Australia. It can imitate anything. They use them for sound effects. Like a bird? A bird that can imitate any sound? It's kind of like the mutos. The female muto imitated a lot of noises, didn't she? Next, we teach Rodan how to speak. That'll be the day, huh? We can teach Rodan how to speak before we can teach Kong, and somehow that's more realistic. How is that possible that birds can talk, but a chimpanzee can't? What the hell? What kind of world are we living in? Crovids are some of the smart... Crovids is what they're called? That's an unfortunate name. Are some of the smartest birds around, probably even smarter than parrots. They can figure out water displacement and even use tools. They're smarter. They're about as smart as 7-year-olds. Well, 7-year-olds aren't that smart, are they? Yes, the lyre bird. It can imitate a buzzsaw, for example. Nice. COVID-19. Now we know where this all started. It's because the vocal cords that birds have, the apes lack. I get that. I understand scientifically and biologically why that is the case. I just think it's silly that we live in a world where a bird can speak and an ape can't. Like, why? That sucks. Why do we have to live in this world and not the world where that's the other way around? You guys think King Kong could do sign language? We get the impression that he can in the 2005 movie. Yeah, someone in the chat literally just said it. We could teach Kong sign language. we get the impression that in the '05 movie, he learns a little bit of sign language. And I think if they spent more time with him, he sure could. But MonsterVerse Kong, apparently this dude is going to be creating full-on tools. So maybe this dude will be able to full-on sign. Ooh, I would not be down for that. But he may be able to sign some words. All right. Stream's gone on past the point of the stream. I will imagine Godzilla can talk like in 72. Good lord. I hated that in the 72 movie. I don't want to see that ever again. I would love to see Kong making sign language. Not in GVK, but sometime in the MonsterVerse. Okay, like I said, he could do some basic sign language in GVK and I'd be okay with it. He's been living with the Iwi people. He'd been living with, monarchs on the island. Now, some basic signs, maybe he could do. I don't want Kong full on, like, having conversations with people with his hands, talking to them. I'm not about that. But, yeah, the stream was supposed to be MonsterVerse Watchalong. We did the MonsterVerse Watchalong. Yay. Now it's time to wrap up here. Now that we've finished the stream. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to do the King Kong vs. Godzilla Watchalong next week. Now that we finished the MonsterVerse Watchalong, we're done. I've did it. Did a commentary for each movie. And now we gotta wait for Godzilla vs. Kong to come out. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do King Kong vs. Godzilla next week. That's something I'm gonna have to think about over the next few days. Or Shin Godzilla. Yeah, actually Shin Godzilla. Maybe that's just straight up what I'll do. Maybe I'll just do Shin Godzilla. That's actually a really good idea because King Kong vs. Godzilla would make sense to wait a little longer until we're closer to the movie coming out anyways. But, you guys are all wanting Shin Godzilla. Okay. All right. I see you. What do we want? Now I'm going to have to decide. I'm gonna have to watch the English dub of Shin Godzilla next week because I don't have a version with the subtitles downloaded. I'm gonna have to download Shin Godzilla before next week. Apparently that's what we're doing. We're shinning it up. Okay, I see you. I don't want to do the dub. I'll try and figure it out. I'll try and figure out how to get the sub. What do we want? Shin Godzilla, when do we want it next week? All right, I will get the Japanese subtitles. I'll try and figure this out before next week. Sure, why not? Why not come back next week? We'll make it a Thursday tradition. We've already done a month of this. We've already done every Thursday for a month we've been doing watch-alongs. Maybe next week we will do Shin Godzilla. You've never watched a Toho Godzilla movie? What on earth? Next week will be your first time. Watch it with us, baby. Sure. Why not? Shin Godzilla next week. I will see you guys next Thursday, if I remember, for Shin Godzilla. And, yeah. Only if you can, your studies and health come first. Absolutely. Yeah, if I have too much homework, I'm not going to be able to do it. But I guess the plan at the moment is to come back next week, same time, 5 o'clock. We will be starting the Shin Godzilla watch-along. It'll be your first time watching? All right. I know you'll remind me, but you're going to have to remind me, like, tomorrow. You're going to have to remind me to download the movie with the subtitles because that takes so long to do. That's a lengthy process when I want subtitles. So that's going to take some time. Yeah, but sure. Why not? All right. Thank you guys all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time, next week for Shin Godzilla. D-Man. Out.